One of the most astonishing innovations of generational AI is the ability to transform textual syntax and semantics into their visual counterparts, not just images, but now also videos. However, despite these abilities, computers do not possess consciousness of their actions and knowledge. And most importantly, they lack self-awareness. In this regard, many scientists are certain that in the coming years, machines will be able to be aware of their own experiences to the point of learning new things without the need for continuous updates from external AI learning and to make autonomous decisions. To understand if and how this step will be taken, it is necessary, among the first things, to better understand the gap that computers must bridge so that their language functions in the same way as human language. While in verbal syntax, the insurmountable limits seem to be that of the recursivity of natural language, in semantics, feelings and sensations are involved. But there is also another problem related to languages. How many artificial intelligences tied to which cultures will arise? Will there be a global intelligence that will regulate AIs in a hierarchical manner? The Chomskyan linguistic theory, as is well known, is the basis of the models of interpretation and production of verbal language, which the majority of scholars believes to be hierarchically superior to any other form of signification or semiosis. In our vision, we will instead propose a modeling of human languages that follows the theories of the Russian semiotician Yuri Lotman. Lotman's semiotics, already by the end of the 1980s, hypothesized human signification as organized in holistic systems called semiospheres. The systems of signs are produced by a specific culture, subculture, individual culture, and their extension depends solely on the point of view from which they are considered. The universal semiosphere, which should include all known sign systems, was thought very differently in the Middle Ages compared to how our science imagines it today. But to be able to assign an identity to one semiosphere, it is necessary to observe its boundary, where the cultural sphere intersects with other semiotic systems. The intersection areas of cultural spheres are therefore fundamental because the other is characterized by a series of peculiar traits considered absent in the reference culture and fundamental to describe the same. Thus, the same name of a people is assigned by others and then referred to themselves. Thus, the most isolated peoples of the earth define themselves as the people, as if their semiosphere were the only conceivable one. Only in exchange does a culture become aware of itself, progresses, and enriches. A similar mechanism exists in human languages. According to Lotman, a basic system of semiosis must be formed by at least two languages that exchange information reciprocally. If there is a primary language, it must be in exchange with another language of equal level. The verbal language probably has as its correlate for Lotman that of the visual spatial organization, which man can express in gestures, indexical signs, pictorial representations, etc. In practice, according to Lotman's theory, multimodality exists a priori and not a posteriori, as in attempts to make machines similar to humans. The level of syntax is where, in attempts to translate between one language and another, the forms of expression that will support the forms of content, according to Helmsleb, that is, the different semantics in their common traits, align. This translation, Lotman explains, can only be imperfect. But it is at this level that metaphors or symbolic constructions arise, deviating from the original content, revealing more and more secret properties of languages, and ultimately causing the integrated sign systems to grow reciprocally. Thus, all the arts intersect their systemic spheres, enriching each other, as in the great cultural movements, in a round dance of the muses, where the semiospheres of different cultures in contact with each other begin to boil like the sun. Often, but not always, literature is the primary language of this transformation. But without the dialogue with other arts, there would be no development.